Hi guys, Scott Woodward with you, and welcome to Friday Night Football. And we have a blockbuster this Friday night. First up, it's the West Tigers who finished fourth versus the Dragons who finished fifth. The first qualifying final, and significantly, it's at ANZ Stadium, and that was an NRL decision, not a club decision, obviously to try and cater for a bigger crowd with two of Sydney's more popular teams. And they're trying to get 60 or 70,000, and they certainly wouldn't have been able to do that at the Sydney Football Stadium. Given that the West Tigers finished fourth and the Dragons finished fifth, you would think that the West Tigers would have some say in where they played. They've won 4 of the 5 games at the Sydney Football Stadium, and at the ANZ where they're playing this game significantly, they've played 6 games and it's 3-3. So West Tigers have missed out on the venue here big time, and it's a big plus for the Dragons. Also, there's very little between these two teams. The last 10 times they've played on all grounds, it's 5-5. So this game is going to come down to bounce of the ball, referee decisions, injuries. And before we start, the injuries certainly favour the St George Dragons. They look to be basically full strength, and there's some big question marks on some of the West players that we'll talk about in a few minutes. But there's no question that for the Dragons to win this game, they're going to rely very heavily, as they have done in the last 3 years, with their brilliant left side attack, which will be spearheaded, finishes up with Brett Morris on the wing. He's returned to his best form. He certainly will walk into the Australian side if he keeps up that form and cover the left wing. There's no doubt about that. He's just brilliant off the mark, very strong, very smart, and he's as fast as any winger in the world. He's an outstanding winger, but he's only as good as the guys inside of him. And Matt Cooper, although he's well into his 30s now, I've never seen him in better form. I think missing out on representative football has paid dividends for him. He's nursed his body, and he's just in great form. His tackle busts in the last half of the season have been amazing, and he's probably the form centre in the competition at the moment. So Matt Cooper will be inside of Brett Morris, and obviously their hard-working forward, Ben Creagh, will come down that side, and he'll work with Morris and he'll work with Cooper. And obviously Darius Boyd, the fullback, will chime in, and so sometimes will Ben Hornby. So they'll cause all sorts of problems to the right side defence of West Tigers. And West Tigers worked... They're very well aware of what the Dragons are going to do, and they worked on that on Tuesday night at Tuesday night's training to try and combat that. I'm not quite sure if they're going to do something unusual to cater for that. I would doubt if they'd move their best defender, Gareth Ellis, to the right side. I think he'll cover the middle. I think he'll cover the left edge. But it would have been something that they would have thought about, I would have thought. Liam Fulton is not the sort of guy that you want there in defence, and certainly on the wing, Bo Ryan is not a good defender. Blake Ayshford can also miss some bad tackles. He hasn't got a good technique, and obviously Robert Louis is also not a good defender. So the Tigers have got big red flags in defence on that side, and it happens to be the Dragons' strength. So that will probably be where the game will be won and lost. But, you know, there's guys like Benji Marshall that will have a say. Who knows what he's going to do? He had a poor game last week, but, you know, his 6 or 7 games before that, he was just untouchable. He had spiders on his back, and he can certainly win the game on his own. He's a freakish player. Not even Benji knows what he's going to do sometimes. I thought it was significant that their captain and smartest player, Robbie Farah, he was just unbelievable last week. He had the best game of the year, which is very timely coming into the finals. He made 9 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, and scored 3 tries. He certainly should. Well, I've been saying all year he should have been the New South Wales hooker. I haven't changed from that, and I think what we've seen since has proven that he's a very smart player, and Dragon supporters will close their eyes when he gets the ball, because something happens when he gets the ball. Just a very good player. Look, some of the injury concerns. Obviously, Ben Creagh has an injury concern. He's not 100%. Also, Dean Young is not 100%. The coach has elected to select him at starting hooker. He has a bit of a concern. He has also Nathan Feen on the bench, and he has Mitch Rain on the bench. I can't see him going with three number 9s in this game. I would think that John Green may come in and replace probably Mitch Rain, you would think. But that'll be a decision that I'm sure that he'll make on Monday morning. As far as the Tigers are concerned, Chris Lawrence will be having his final trial on Thursday night. We will know late on Thursday night. We'll report to you on Friday how he went at the training. We'll have our guys there looking at him. At this stage, he's long way from being 100% to play. They absolutely need him, not only because he's a terrific runner and he's a class act, but if he doesn't play, he'll be replaced by Matt Utai. And Matt Utai up against Mark Gasnier, I would expect Mark Gasnier to step around Matt Utai, and Matt Utai wouldn't lay a hand on him. And if Chris Lawrence is out and Utai is in, I would swing very heavily towards the Dragons winning this game. I don't think anybody that has got bad hands like Matt Utai and tackles like Matt Utai, I would struggle to justify a position in any first grade side. There's no question that he's a block-busting runner, but there's a lot more to rugby league than just running, especially when you're in a key position like centre and you're playing a world-class guy like Mark Gasnier. Very interesting that the Tigers coach has selected for the first time in many weeks Andrew Fafita. He's probably his best go forward. He's his strongest runner of the ball. He's left him out because he's going to the Sharks next year, and he's elected to go with Matt Drayton. He's elected to go with Aaron Woods, who represent the future for the Tigers. But in the Feedingham department, Andrew Fafita is more talented and he's more blockbusting. It's just that he's not that good a boy off the field, and that's a big thing when you're trying to build a club for the future. But we're talking about the semi-finals now. This is a new competition, and you have to go with your best team. Andrew Fafita is in their best 17 as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to be very interested to see what the coach does there. He has some room to move. In recent weeks, for some unknown reason, he's been selecting Wade McKinnon on the bench when you've already got Tim Molson at fullback, and Wade McKinnon can only play fullback. So he's down on the bench. I can't have him playing, but I've been saying that the last few weeks, and he keeps playing two fullbacks. And when he comes on, it completely stuffs up the configuration of the West Tigers team. Last week he had Blake Ayshford playing in the forwards, just ridiculous. So I would like to think that he will get that right this week. He's too smart a coach for it not to get right. We have two very experienced coaches here, the Dragons and the Tigers coach. It's two outstanding games with a lot of brilliant talent on show. I think the bookies have got the prices right. I always thought the Dragons should have been slight favourites, only because they have a better configuration in their 17 as a team. I think they play better as a team. There's no question that the Tigers have more brilliant players. In terms of Robbie Farah and Benji Marshall, they have the more brilliant players, and they can win it from an individual point of view. If it's going to be a team win, it'll go to the Dragons, and it may very well come down to a bomb, a ref decision, or something like that, or something freakish that Benji does. Whatever happens, I have no doubt that this will be a close game. I don't expect it to be a high-scoring game, and it will be real semi-final football. It'll be one of the great games of the year. I can't wait. I certainly can't be doing anything at this stage with the prices. I'm looking very closely at the training tonight on Thursday night to see how Chris Lawrence comes up. There's no question that the Tigers' chances will be boosted if he plays. If I'm going to be on the Tigers, I don't want Matt Utai to be playing. As talented what he is, he's not a semi-final type footballer. I would hate to have my have my last on Matt Utai having to take a bomb, take a pass, or having to tackle a guy who's running straight at me. It's just not going to happen. He's just too unreliable, and he's not the sort of guy you want to be going to war with, as far as I'm concerned. Might be a little bit harsher on young Matt Utai. I'm sure he's a good guy, but I don't want him in my team if I'm having a bet. So there it is for me. I think the bookies have got it right. As we're talking right now, I favour slightly to the Dragons, but there's no question that the Tigers have got the arsenal to win this game, and they've got the arsenal to go on to win the premiership. I think the winner of this game has an absolute walk-up start to win the premiership. That's how important this game is. It should be a great game. Looking forward to it, and I hope your team wins. See you later. Talk to you soon.